It was just minutes from landing, but something went horribly wrong. The airplane slammed into the ground, not on the runway, but far before it. Snow poured in. Lights went out. Everyone thought they were going to die. But what happened next shocked the world. No one did. This is the unbelievable story of Flight 624. Before we continue, if you love real-life air crash investigations and stories of survival, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more gripping aviation content. On the night of March 28, 2015, Air Canada Flight 624 was flying from Toronto to Halifax. The aircraft was an Airbus A320, a reliable plane used by airlines all over the world. On board were 133 passengers and 5 crew members. It was supposed to be a routine flight. But in Halifax, the weather had other plans. A heavy snowstorm had rolled in. Winds were gusting. Visibility was poor. Snow was falling fast and thick. Still, the airport remained open and other flights were managing to land. Flight 624 took off from Toronto around 9 p.m. with little sign of trouble. Passengers settled in, unaware of the danger ahead. As the airplane approached Halifax, the crew prepared for a challenging landing on runway 05. Due to the heavy clouds and snow, the pilots couldn't see the runway. They would have to rely entirely on their instruments. Normally, there's an important system at the airport called an instrument landing system, which helps guide planes down the correct angle to the runway. But that night, it was turned off for maintenance. That made the landing far more difficult. The pilots were aware of this. Still, they decided to go ahead with the landing. As the aircraft descended, things began to go wrong. The airplane dipped lower and lower. Suddenly, with a violent impact, it struck the ground, not at the start of the runway, but over 200 meters before it. That's more than 2 football fields too early. The left wing hit light poles. The landing gears snapped off. One engine was ripped from its place. The airplane scraped and skidded through snow, tearing through antennas and airport structures. The lights inside the cabin shut off. The sound of twisting metal filled the air. Then, it hit a power line, knocking out power across the entire airport. The aircraft kept sliding until it finally came to a stop in the snow. Inside, the scene was terrifying. Passengers screamed. Some were thrown forward. Overhead bins burst open, and bags flew out. The cabin was dark and cold. Snow began seeping in through broken parts of the fuselage. People cried. Others prayed. But then, something no one expected happened. Everyone survived. Despite the brutal crash, all 138 people on board made it out alive. 25 people were hurt, some seriously, but none lost their lives. Emergency crews rushed to the wreckage. They expected to find the worst. But instead, they saw something rare. Passengers helping each other, walking through snow, bleeding, shaking, but alive. It was nothing short of a miracle. Investigators from the Transportation Safety Board of Canada launched an inquiry. They studied flight data, weather reports, and cockpit recordings. They found that the pilots had descended too early. Without the landing guide system, they were doing what's called a non-precision approach, more complicated and less forgiving. Unfortunately, they didn't realize how low they were until it was too late. The investigation uncovered several issues. The pilots were exhausted after long hours. Visibility was dangerously low. The runway lights were too dim. The crew had the option to abort the landing, circle around, and try again. But they didn't. It was a series of human errors. The crash was classified as a controlled flight into terrain, where the airplane is not broken, but still crashes because it's flown into the ground by mistake. This event led to big changes. Pilots received more training for difficult landings. Rules were updated to stop flights from landing when weather visibility is below a certain level. Halifax Airport also improved its lighting systems, making runways easier to see in bad weather. Flight 624 became a lesson, not only in what went wrong, but also in what went right. It reminded the aviation world of the importance of crew judgment, weather awareness, and emergency response. And more than that, it showed the power of design, training, and teamwork. The airplane held together. The crew responded quickly. The passengers remained calm. And against all odds, Not a single life was lost. This crash could have been a tragedy. But instead, it became a story of survival, of second chances, and of hope in the face of fear. A reminder that even in the darkest moments, miracles can happen.